Well, good morning, everyone. We are up at the club level for breakfast, and it's a few minutes after 8 in the morning. Um, I think we've acclimated somewhat to the new time change. We're 13 hours ahead of home, and so we are going to have some breakfast, and then we are meeting our tour guide, and we are doing a Jewish heritage tour of Singapore, which hopefully will be interesting, informing, and delight to see the local synagogue and hopefully meet the rabbi and find out more about Jewish life here in Singapore. So anyway, we're going to get up and have some breakfast, and and here's Mom.
Good
Say
morning, everyone.
Mom's all ready for synagogue, as you can see. And now we're going to get up and walk the buffet for breakfast and show you what's here. And then we're going to get something to eat. So on this side is the cold stuff. I can't even read this. Virginia ham and some beef and some chicken and smoked smoked halibut and smoked salmon and some cereals, yogurts, some cheese, some fruit and salad stuff. This is the bar area. And they do made-to-order eggs, which I think I might give a try. Some croissants and bread items, donuts, some pastries, stuff. And over here is the soon quiche, whatever that is. It's that stuff right there. And this one is chicken sticky rice and lotus right there. And this one's noodles, so you can see that. And some stuff to make a sauce. And oh, chicken congee. Might have to give that a try. And over here is some baked cheese portobello. Look like tomatoes to me, but I don't. And pork garlic sausage. And some non-crispy bacon. And so, yeah, that's pretty much the breakfast selection. And I'm going to put this camera down and go get some stuff, and we'll bring you back in a bit. Okay, so Mom got, what did you get there?
I'm not sure.
Trying to find,
A tomato, sausage, watermelon. Rock melon is what they call it. It looks like cantaloupe. Bacon and
something.
something.
And I got the Oriental stuff, so I got the rice, the noodles, the other noodle dish. Having trouble with this camera getting things in the right place. And I also got some kanji. And so we're going to give it a try, and we'll see you in a bit. Okay, so that was actually good, and the sticky rice thing was the bomb. And so here's my second plate, and I got I think it's a chocolate donut and another sticky rice thing, and it was excellent. So I decided to get a little bit more. Mom's still working on her healthy fruit stuff, but as we all know, I stay away from the healthy stuff. I had a double espresso. Mom's got this green drink. What's this supposed to be?
Apple, ginger, and I don't remember.
It's supposed to give you energy for the day.
And body boost.
A body boost. And so we know that she needs a body boost. So here we go. Drink your drink up. That's it. Stir it up. It actually looks like a light colored Soylent Green. for those who remember what Soylent Green is. Anyway, back as the day proceeds. Hasta la bye-bye for now.
But there is this
We are in the car starting our tour
Yeah.
today.
there's this like
See
a bubble,
pictures. Yeah.
and it's the jewel designed by Moshe Safdie here. But this is the most profitable sands hotel in the world.
Yeah,
The
owned
one
by
here.
Edelson.
Yeah.
Adelson, what's his
Yeah.
name? Sheldon. He passed
Well,
away.
Sheldon
He
passed
passed
away,
away.
but
And
his
wife,
wife
Miriam, she
Miriam.
controls the money now.
Yeah.
But,
And she's smarter than he was.
oh yeah. Well, my mom's smarter than my dad, I can tell you that. She does everything as computer and things. I mean, 90 years old. Right?
You're lucky.
Now, everything you see here where we're driving was reclaimed land. I will show you maps, which means this was the sea.
Mhm.
Where we are now, 23% of the island of Singapore is reclaimed land.
By the way,
You see the
everybody,
two
this
dogs
is Sarah
here?
in the back.
Hi,
And
Sarah.
and
Shalom. Good morning. Do you
Sarah
see the
is
two
our
domes
tour
here?
guide.
Mhm.
These are the Esplanade Theaters by the Bay. Can you see, Fred? So we call them the durian. It's the nickname because it looks like that stinky fruit. I mean, maybe you like the durian. I don't know, our driver. But it's an acquired taste. But this is a performing arts center where we have our concerts, ballet.
Yeah, we ended
theater.
up inside here yesterday
By accident.
when we crossed the road.
Yeah.
But you see,
From here, we actually
Perfect.
went in here
well
and we
done.
came out over there.
Very good. So just in front of us is Beach Road, which means this was the beach. This was the sea. So everything behind us that we drove, including your hotel, is reclaimed land. So 23% of the island. I have a very good map, which I'll show you later, and so you can see. So it's quite fascinating. What Singapore has here.
Okay, so we are here at Chesed,
No, I gotta be the boss here. I run the show.
Chesed El. You can see that up on there. This is the synagogue.
Let me just say, eat Rabbi whenever you take a break.
So we learned some interesting things on the way here in that Singapore has an army that is compulsory for 2 years, and the army was all trained by the IDF,
Here you see everywhere.
which we found to be quite interesting.
Okay, let me just find missing. Boker Tov. Designed by a very famous British architecture firm because he could afford it, as simple as that. So the man, our man, is Menashe Meir. Born in Baghdad, family moved to Calcutta. I will explain later. The guy owned so much real estate on the island of Singapore. Hi Eitan, בוקר טוב. מה שלומך? גם לך, שנה טובה. אנחנו חוגגים Chinese New Year. שיהיה פעילה. ביי ביי, להתראות, כל טוב. You own so much land. Okay, sorry. I just lost my thought. Line of thought. So, he was so wealthy that when he passed away in 1930, his will was published in the Straits Times. And I'll show you.
Wow.
I'll show you the will. They say a death of a Singapore millionaire. The whole will was there. So, the guy owned so much money, had so much money. He said, I can hire the best of the best. Swan and McLaren, they are the architects. They will design this neoclassical Palladian architecture, which is very symmetric and beautifully what we call Art Deco. Okay? Now, if you look, my friends, on both arches here, like above the balcony, you see the letter M and M. Can you see those two circles? Red, can you see?
Yeah.
Make no mistake, Menashe Meir. He puts his initials here. Both sides, not M&M chocolates, but M&M, my shul, my synagogue, here. Okay? That's how he was. So the building is built in this neoclassical Palladian architecture, right? Swan and McLaren, Alfred Bidwell is the architect. Now, let's move in here, and if you want me to take a photo of the two of you at some point, you just say, Sarah, it's fine, or
Okay.
this is good enough. Up to you. Come. the name of the synagogue. Can you read a little bit of
Yeah.
Hebrew?
He can't.
Test it out.
All of course, you know, because you also she booked it here, right, on the graph. So the first three letters, Chet Samech Daled is
Yeah.
Chesed, which means mercy. El, Elohim is God. So he names it Chesed El. The synagogue was built 1905. His villa, I'll show you photos, no more, used to be up on the hill behind it, 1903. So after he settles here on Oaksley Rise, it says, I can build my own synagogue. There are stairs leading there. I'll show you later when we go to the bathroom. I'll show you the stair. And that's where it goes. And what happens if he doesn't have minyan? Like today, they close the synagogue. Everybody comes here. Back in the days, you pay. He asked some of these, because he was very, very religious. So he will tell them, come to my synagogue. I need to pray shacharit or mincha. And he pays them money and they come. It's not that far. You'll see. We'll get there later. But that's how things work. Okay, come have a look here. So, typical in the tropics, let me just put my bag here for a minute. Typical in the tropics is this kind of architecture, where you would have a lobby or a foyer. It will be covered from the rain and the sun. You get off your, well, in those days, rickshaw or whatever, and you are covered. Now, I'm going to explain about these two signs here in a minute. I just want to mention, and I'm happy to talk about it more later, I want to mention World War II. World War II Japanese occupation on the island of Singapore. 3 years and 7 months. Atrocities here. We can talk about the Jews and these things later. But why am I talking about it here? Because the Iraqi Jews were smart. New regime, Japanese. The name of the island will change to Sayonanto in Japanese, which means the Southern Light. Official language, Japanese. Official clock, Tokyo time. Said, things are changing here. We don't know. Just in case, let's move or remove, our Torah scrolls from the synagogue and hide them. So good thing they did. Then the Japanese arrive, and guess what? They're looking for a warehouse for their ammunition. Here's a building. Good enough for us. So the whole building is full with guns, rifles, gunpowder, whatever. After the war, the building was in very bad shape. Dilapidated, not in use, forgotten for years and years. So what did the Jews do? They went to the other one, which is the active one, Magen Avot Synagogue, where we will go later. Now, in his will, Menashe Meir writes that 21 years after the passing of his third son, Reuven, I saw you took a photo of it, Reuben Meir, Ganenu, our kindergarten. Okay, so he said 21 years after the passing of Reuben Meir, the trust can take over. But I tell you, these were old men, useless, did nothing. So they held on to the money, they sold all the land here, which was a good thing, for building all these condos for 150 million Singapore dollars. So do you see why they don't need membership here? You don't need membership. None of what we used to. This trust is invested, and when you have millions and you invest, you make more money. And this is how they sustain the building. They pay the rabbi. They maintain everything. They build a new kindergarten function room here during COVID. That building there, we will see it later. I mean, they're happy to get tzedakah, charity, whatever. And there are some very wealthy people here in the community, and that's how it's sustained. So it's totally different. Sometimes after 3 hours, my business said, so which shul do you belong to? I'm like, no, what did I just say? No, we don't belong. Anyone is welcome here. So, Elbreth came here in the 80s, early 80s, and Mr. Menashe Meir, he will be anointed as Sir in 1929, 1 year before he passed away. He was such a philanthropist, okay? And no matter what people thought about him, without Menashe, this community would have not survived. He gave money for Talmud Torah, which was like a cheder, of course, for boys only back in the days. Girls didn't get education. But he was a philanthropist. We'll talk about it later. And you can see architects, Swan and McLaren. The architect who did this project is Alfred Bidwell. So finished in 1905. His villa, which I'll show you the photo, 1903.
Did
Wow.
they find the Torah scrolls that they
Oh yeah, definitely. No,
okay.
they just put them in a safe place. War is over. The Torah scrolls were saved, but the building, bad shape. Now, here you see the mezuzah. Of course, we shall go in to this most beautiful synagogue, and you can take as many photos as you like. We have the whole synagogue ourselves with the air conditioning, with everything. Yeah. Kiss the mezuzah. If you need water, please, you can take some.
Oh, okay.
Please take some. I want to make sure you drink. And anyway, that can carry. We have a Sherpa here.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look in here, my friends. We start here. It's hilarious. You should take a photo of this. Come have a look. You know how to read a little Hebrew. The first word, Aleph Samech Vav Resh, Asur.
Asur,
Asur means
לדבר,
very good.
בבית, הכנסת.
אסור
Yeah.
לדבר בבית הכנסת.
Yeah. So no talking in the
No
synagogue.
talking. You shouldn't talk business, gossip, shider. This is Shabbat.
Like
This
we
is our
do.
holiday. Exactly, my friend. So, but these Iraqi Jews, I know, trust me, I'm half Iraqi. They are stubborn. They know better than anyone else. You tell them it's forbidden, it's like you tell a little kid. We continue to do what we do, but they're very superstitious. So look what it says in English. It's a sin. It's not forbidden, it's a sin. Do you see what I mean? It's a chet. Just do that. So they say, if you tell them it's a sin, then they'll shut up. You see? Now, if you look up here, look at the beautiful metal work for the Ezrat Nashim, the women's section. I'll take you upstairs later because you're young and energetic. It will be very nice for you to take photos from the women's section down there later at the end. They brought all the metal here from Scotland, from Glasgow. He can afford
Wow.
the best of the best. Now, take a look. Can you see the letters M and M, my friends? Look at the rating. Look
Wow.
at the place. Make no mistake. Menashe Meir. And if that's not enough, correct, Michelle. If that's not enough, look up there. Do you see the three windows at the top? Look at the right and the left. Menashe Meir. Until 1915, for the first 10 years, there were gas lamps here. 1915, finally electricity, and so they replaced them with these chandeliers. And this is typical Sephardi synagogue, where you have the bima
In the
or
center.
kippah in the center. You see it like even in, I don't know, I go to the Portuguese synagogue in Amsterdam because I go there a lot. Same idea. In many of them, it will be in the center. Have you noticed the seatings here? Look at this. As we're going to walk and we're going to sit down in a minute. Look here. They almost look like semicircles, not like rows. So if you think about it, these Iraqi men would sit here like what we call in Arabic the Khamula, the extended tribe. Men only, the women upstairs, of course, right? And so they would sit around here in their seats. So we're going to go to the front.
And so how did they sit and not gossip and talk? Yeah.
Okay, let me see if we sit here. Meanwhile, we can sit down. So normally after Shacharit they have a seat here or here.
The rabbi that you're remarking is the Orthodox?
Of course.
Okay, so
You don't shake his hand. Have a seat here. Yeah. Just be careful here. This is not a 98 strong. Our Rabbi Nissim, born in Colombia, 32 years old. He is the rabbi here at the synagogue of Chesed El.
So two special things from the community here. As usual, you will see in any other synagogue that there is one parochet only.
One screen or one
Here
parochet.
and in the in the other synagogue in the Magen Avot, there is always three of them. Why?
Have you noticed there's three screens?
We are not
Three
totally sure. It's
curtains.
something local. We don't know why there are three of them. But the second thing that we will see is that the Echad itself is not a small closet. It's a full room that you
Please
can
go in. This is
go in.
amazing. This is the highlight. Please come.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And
May
how old are they?
revelation. Okay, let's start from here. Come. So Fred here is asking you, Rabbi, how old are they?
So, my estimation is, let's say the oldest is this one. It was donated by the time there was the synagogue was built. It's in 1905, but the scroll is older than that.
Look at this, amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Today is not in use. It's pasul.
It's not kasher.
Yeah, I
But
can
you can
see.
see the material. This is
Look at the
this
gvil.
is called gevil. This is the 3 layers of the skin of the cow. Today we don't write in this. We only use one of the layers that is called clef.
Clef, that's right.
So-
So today the scrolls are thinner. This is thicker because it's older. That's how they
You
use
can see that the letters still in good condition, even that is very old. I will estimate maybe 200, a little bit more maybe.
And this one is not as
This-
old as this.
No, this
Well,
one-
some of them don't have a scroll inside.
yeah,
It's
some
just
of
the-
them they used to have, but they remove it from
So
there.
some of them
So-
have dates on them.
These they don't
Like
have,
this
they
one
don't
has a
have.
date,
This
the
one-
Jewish year.
This one is special because it's the one that is removed for Tisha B'Av, the 9 of Av.
So only once a year they will take this Sefer Torah, and Rabbi and I have only seen it in Singapore in both synagogues. One here, one in the other one. Black Sefer Torah for Tisha B'Av, the 9th day of the month of Av. Unbelievable.
So you have the others. The
They're
others,
very heavy.
they're also all
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, yeah.
the previous before, but we are not using them. Some of them they are pasul, some of them they used to apply a wax on.
So
on
there
the
was
top of the
wax
letter.
on the clef, on
So
the scroll.
It makes it really difficult to
To-
fix
yeah.
any mistake. So we better leave it in one side. What we do is that we use the youngest
These
one.
four. These four.
The oldest is this one is around 30 years old. The youngest is this one that is around 3 years and a half. This one we will renovate the case
The
because
case is not very
not
not in a
in
very
good condition anymore. So the donator he bring this one exactly for that one.
Look at this.
For that
Beautiful.
purpose.
New arrival. Only
This
arrived
is
a
now
few
empty,
weeks
but
ago.
soon we will pass that
Yeah,
one.
this looks new.
It's brand new.
Yeah,
The importer
you can
from
see
Israel. Beautiful.
the menorah
Look
in
at
one
this.
side
Okay.
and the Holy Temple in the other side.
Wow.
Now the other one here is like a travel size Sefer Torah, which is
this
very
one-
interesting. Here, he will open.
This
Yeah.
one is the only one that
We
for
have one
sure,
like this.
Wait, not this. Not this.
This one is the only
Oh.
one that for sure we know the date is 130 years old.
130. I sent this photo to my dad, and he's Iraqi. He said,
You can
"Oh
see
yes."
the size.
You can see the date and the
Really
name.
tiny.
But
So
look how
this one is
small
more
it is.
difficult to do because you need to request exactly the size of the
To
scroll.
restore this one is very
And
challenging.
to restore it is very difficult because the letters are really tiny. Not everybody knows how to write so small.
Yeah, the scribe.
They're
that
even
can do
smaller than this one, but the smaller it is, the more difficult to write and
Of course.
get more expensive.
Of course, of course.
Fred got a
Beautiful.
small
So
one.
these are all Sephardi, and of course when you do the Agbaha and you lift them up, you need to be like Rabbi Nissim, a
Yeah.
bodybuilder.
Yeah.
In Singapore, there is only
Rabbi,
one Ashkenazi Sefer Torah, and it was donated around 2 years ago. It's the
So-
first and the only one in
I'll show you
Singapore
a
so
photo.
far.
Michelle, my guest, has a question about the smaller ones. So this one is for the children. Okay, you start with
Yeah,
this
that
one.
one is for the children. The children normally they
But this
take
is
it out
for-
when we are taking the Sefer Torah. They like to join to the
Yeah.
procession
To walk,
of the
yeah.
Teva. And this one is the Megillah, the Esther.
Oh, the
The
Megillah.
Megillah. You know Purim is coming up.
Yeah.
So
March
this one,
1st.
this one it will be around maybe 30, 40 years old. There are some issues on it, but not something so terrible. It can be fixed. And
Actually, Rabbi is going
we
to take
do a small
up
restoration
the
on it.
challenge. He's a man of many talents. He checks our mezuzahs, he goes to represent our faith, and also he brought ink from Israel, and he's planning to
Do the
you
correction.
see, everyone, all of them start with the word Amelech. Fred here can read Hebrew.
A little bit.
Beseder.
You can see that
Yeah.
all of them, the in the top, every column start with
Yeah, Hamelech.
Amelech. The only exception is the beginning,
Yeah.
like the beginning of the story.
And Rabbi
but
is also
all of
our
them.
cantor. So he has a lovely voice. He sings very nicely. Beautiful.
Make it like this. We put it like literally like a letter.
So how many people come to services?
Is this parchment?
Ah,
It
you can
doesn't
touch
look
it.
like it.
You can touch.
You can touch.
Oh,
He
okay.
said we can touch.
This one you can touch.
It's like a wax.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels thick.
It feels like regular paper, not,
It feels.
yeah.
It's worked in that way that it looks like that.
And this one?
This one is for the children.
Oh, okay.
It's for the
So
kids, and this one also.
Yeah,
So
this is the only
sometimes, like,
McGill.
when I have my my non-Jews, I open this one. I said, you can see a Sefer Torah. It's good enough. They're happy. They see the letters. But this is for the kids also to learn and get ready for the Haftarah and all that.
for Fred's
Bar mitzvah.
bar mitzvah,
I have one like this.
he has one like that from Israel, and it's what our children used
For their
bar and
bat mitzvah.
And Rabbi, let's show them here. Look how beautiful.
You can see
they
the
are.
different
And
and
this
the,
also.
Wow.
Look at this
the
and
art
this
for
one.
the new one.
Look at this.
Everything there.
I mean, if you
Are these silver?
Jerusalem,
Are they silver?
they're silver.
It's silver?
I used to
I don't
live
think it's
near
silver.
the King David Hotel, YMCA, in Jerusalem.
Yeah, we stayed there.
Mount
We stayed at,
Right.
we stayed at
That's
the
where I
Y-
grew up.
We stayed at the YMCA.
YMCA, you can see from my parents' kitchen. But here you have the windmill of Montefiore, the
Yeah.
temple, beautiful work here and there. Fred had a question, how many people come to pray? What
Yeah.
did you want to ask Rabbi?
How many people come on a weekly basis?
Our main prayer is Friday night. We are talking about between 50 to 60 people.
Here or the
Here,
other?
here.
Here.
Yeah, during the day, Shabbat morning, we have a small minyan between 20 to 30 people, depending the Shabbat.
Yeah.
There, the Shabbat can reach 100 plus
Yeah.
during the day.
Wow,
They
so
also
it's a
have
lot.
meal, they do the Shabbat.
But recently, Friday night became the opposite. Friday night,
night.
they have around 20, 30 people.
And you have more.
yeah.
But during the week, on Monday and Thursday, you do
So
Shacharit. here,
Monday,
right? Like today.
Monday we close Magen Avod, and
That's
we
what I
open
told them.
we open the Chesed El Only.
Only here.
So we are having around 30 plus
30 people.
men. Now this week is very special because of the
Chinese
New
New
Year. We have around maybe 15 people today. All the
Because
others,
everybody traveled.
Traveling.
I know my friends who live here on the condo, Nathan.
yeah, is traveling.
Mahom, we went to Vietnam. Many people took a day off because tonight is New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
And so
And
they
then-
had
and then
a
everything is
weekend.
Tomorrow and
closed.
after tomorrow is holiday. So.
Everything
Yeah.
closed. So a lot of people are not
Closed for
here.
2 days or 1 day?
2 days.
It's 2 days, but because the Monday is in the middle, people
Yeah,
just
took
opened on
everything.
Friday
for the
already.
whole weekend.
So it's,
took-
yeah, started Friday
Those
and
that they travel on Friday, they have Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
But
and
I think
Wednesday.
seeing this collection is just amazing.
It is.
Because we're used to seeing Sefer Torah behind the glass in a museum setting. And here you think people have used it. People brought it from Iraq or Iraq anyway.
Yeah.
They use it, they pray with it. It has so much history. And it's so special for us to see it and to have you show us this. We are very thankful.
thank you, Rabbi.
Can we take one photo with you before you go? Thank you so much.
We went to,
Give me your
Savannah,
camera,
Georgia.
Michelle.
Georgia.
I am coming again.
So we
on
came the right
Sunday.
day.
Sunday the 22nd.
Sunday,
I have 4 people. If you're here, that would be great. 10 o'clock. Can you check?
I'll be here, but I'm not sure if I'll be free because it's.
So here we are in the upper level, the women's gallery.
Ezrat Nashim.
Absolutely beautiful.
They did such a good job. Here you see the name of Mrs. Felice Yitzhak or Isaac. She was very good friend of Mosel, the wife of the late Menachem Meir. And before her death, she said, please keep the legacy of my husband. And so she and her daughter Lillian, whom I know, Lillian is 50-something. She introduced me also to her brother Jonathan. So that I was always interested in talking to the local Iraqis who live here. Because from that original community, we only have about 150, 180 max. That's it. Most of them left Singapore, and the other issue was that they married only within themselves. So they would not even marry someone like Moroccan or Tunisian, no, only with the Iraqi community. I belong here to Jewish Women Singapore. We meet once a month, we do like a Rosh Chodesh event. And I met this lady, Sharon Solomon, and she tells me, you know, I'm married to my third cousin. Like, really? Yeah, because there were no more men eligible, so that's how it happened. Right? So she shared a lot of stories with me. Mrs. Felice Itzhak or Isaac was president of our Jewish Welfare Board. So although the Iraqi community was very conservative, they had women as presidents of their board, which is a good thing. But don't you dare sit in her seat. Oy vey, you get into trouble. And this is Lilia now, she's very active with the community. Not that we know, I think. Okay. Her brother Jonathan told me that he used to come here as a young boy. For Purim, they would play scavenger hunt in the cascading gardens of Menashe's estate between the synagogue and his villa. And like he opened it to the community. So
Wow.
it's just interesting to hear their stories. There was definitely a class difference between the wealthier ones and the poor Jews of the Mahalla. Okay? Even when they entered the synagogue, Magen Avot, he told me, one side was the wealthy, the other side was us, the poor boys and men of the Mahalla. Okay? So they looked up upon us, although they were all Iraqis. But, you know, it's part of what's going on.
So we are now leaving. Our visit to the synagogue was very nice. Met the rabbi. Got a lot of history from Sarah. And we're continuing on now. We're going over to the next synagogue.
I think if we stand there will be a good shot. So in Hebrew, Ganenu means our kindergarten. See? Ruben Meir, and that was open in 2021. So you have the function room and you have the kindergarten. We do a sukkah on the top. Very active.
Very nice.
Good.
Nice place to live up there, right above the
So, you know,
synagogue.
the late Prime Minister, Lee Kuan Yew, he was neighbor of Menashe Meir. He lived one more street on Oaksley Road. And that condo there is Bellevue condo. All of that land was sold except for the synagogue.
So how much did he own?
Oh my God, he had more land in the East Coast also. He was very, very wealthy. That's why they put his will. The millionaire.
So we just got off the bus. And there's a car vending machine, I believe.
Look how they park their cars.
Is that a vending machine or a car park?
No, it's a car park. Very good.
Because I see an F1 up
Look
there.
at these amazing cars.
There's an F1 car up there.
Very expensive cars. People park their cars here. You see it in Japan too. And I think in New York City, there's places where you have these.
Yeah.
But this is, look, with the glass, okay?
Wow.
We're in the heart of the Mahalla. This is the main road, Princep Road. It changes the name to Selaji. It goes all the way up there to Little India. This is Middle Road. That's the heart of the Mahalla. Now, if you were middle class, because you asked me earlier about classes, you would go up this hill, Sophia Hill, and Wilkie Road. So more of the middle class lived here. They're very wealthy, like Menashe, where we started. Others lived in the middle of the island, in a place called Bukitima, big estates, big houses. And the poorer ones lived here near the synagogue, near the shul, right? So you ask yourself, we're Jewish, we know about Eruv, about Chum Shabbat, the Shabbat. What are they gonna do? From here you walk, no problem. The end of the Eruv was just up there, up the road, and from Menashe's place. So nowadays the Orthodox Jews live on Orchard Road, live here, live nearby. Our rabbi lives across the street, as long as they can walk.
Mm-hmm.
If you're far, as you know, this is not considered anymore Shomer Shabbat, is it? But the Jews are very good in finding solutions. So these Iraqi wealthy Jews said, well, we're hiring a rickshaw, and the guy's running anyway, and the cycles are going, it's not turning on an engine, and the rickshaw will bring us to the shul, to the synagogue, whatever. As long as it works, it's fine. We're not going to argue. Now, we're going to talk about this building. I want to stand here in the shade.
So we're in the Mahala, which is the old Jewish quarter. And that, I believe, is a museum across the street with the Star of David on it. But we will soon find out.
In the shade?
No, we're fine here.
This one. Just don't want to keep you in the sun. If you're not comfortable, you can go up. Okay. This is a good place to take a shot of the building. David Elias building. Maybe we stand here. You know what? There's a bit of shade here. Even better. So we don't say Elias, we say Elias. David Elias. But you can say David Elias. He died already. He was architect, same architect, Swan and McLaren. The one who designed Menashe Synagogue, Chesed. Same architecture style, you can tell. And he was also very wealthy. He was a lawyer, used to have his offices here, okay? And he was also, what we mentioned earlier, a drug dealer. He was also into the opium business. Okay? So, his building is from 1928. We have another building, older one, 1924, but it is not in good condition, just at the end of the road here. I will show you the people who own that building later on. So, David Elias building, look at this. I have some very, very good photos to share. Oh, no, Menashe, we saw you already. We don't need you now. Dave. Okay, so if you look here, this is before and after renovation. Okay? I'm gonna enlarge this now, and I want you to try and read here. Can you see what it says here? Sun Hotel. Can you see? So a Chinese family will buy the building from the Elias or Elias family after World War II. And from 1946 until 1995, almost 50 years, they own a hotel. They don't care about the Magen David. That can stay there. Just add their sign up there.
So it was a hotel then?
It was a hotel for 50 years. And everybody knew the Sun Hotel. And then if you look straight here, can you see, just straight, can you see some Chinese scriptures here? Symbol
Oh, yeah.
that says Sun
Yeah.
Hotel on the cement. Michelle, can you see it? So that was the entrance to the bar. Everybody knew the bar at the Sun Hotel. It was the place to be in Middle Street. So what they've done is, look at the old ones, like these photos. See, I will enlarge. You see here, Sun Hotel.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting. So interesting. It used to have more trees around, now no more. Lots of restaurants down here. Commercials, all gone. Now it's owned by an Indian family. They have their businesses. But you know what they haven't really, I don't know if they're leasing the shops downstairs, all vacant. But if you look here, I took this photo. You see here? Used to be a Hainanese chicken rice right here. Everybody used to come here. So now I don't even know what the plans are.
So it's not anything to do with the Jewish community anymore?
No, haven't been since the Sun Hotel.
Oh.
He so done it. Okay, but the Star of David, the Magen David, is still here. The other building, which we are not going to see, but it's not too far, is this building. I just want you to know. 19 Star of David 24. Ellison building. This is an Ashkenazi fellow. So he comes from Romania, goes to Yangon, marries a nice Jewish Burmese girl, and then moves here. So the house, look at it, was amazing. He was trading in fabrics. That was his private house, not an office, with the two balconies here. When I came to Singapore 14 years ago, they used to have down here a Rex Bollywood cinema for Indian movies. You see, that's how it looked like. So this is the Ellison building. So these are the only two buildings that still survive here in the Mahala. Okay? Now we you can see our shul, the synagogue. That's the yellow building where we're heading. where the plants are. This is where the ladies' mikveh is. So imagine behind it here used to be the Talmud Torah and the bakery. This is the heart of the community. So we'll just make a shortcut to the food court. Sometimes I guide Israelis. I get
我哋間大堂啦，等佢食咗個飯就。
military attaché here or the embassy or local expats, their family members come. Sometimes they just find me word of mouth. To be honest with you, I'm okay guiding Israelis, but I'm much happier when I guide. And you've lived in Israel, you know how they cut you off and
Yeah.
how they can be too aggressive and rude. And it's sometimes really hard. I mean, okay, it's my line of
They don't
business.
have
I need to
patience. They
smile.
want to get to
And they know
the.
better than anyone.
Of course. Of course.
Anyway, I'm just sharing with you. But it's my line of work, okay? So we will turn here. Just do a shortcut through the aircon. So here they say aircon.
Yeah.
And they speak what we call here Singlish. 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 So often they translate from Chinese. So when I first got here, I would ask the taxi driver, cab driver, can I get off here? And he would say, can. I said, what? Can? Like,
Yeah,
like,
can, yes.
Yes. Until I understood, like, he doesn't have to say, yes, you can get off here. He just says, can.
Can.
Like, they don't waste time on words. It's like long time no see. It's a direct translation from Chinese. If you on or off the lights, you don't have to say, I'm going to turn on the lights. You just say, I on it, I off it. So they say aircon. Very short. And then they add slang words in Malay. So Malay is our national language and English is our official language. We'll talk about it more when we're at the National Gallery at the end of the tour if you still survive. But we add slang words in Malay to English. So if I want to sound very local, I would say to a friend, let's go makan. M-A-K-A-N. Makan means to eat in Malay. Eat. But you know, it's like Israelis use words in Arabic. Yalla, Allah, mabsuta.
Yeah.
Just the same. Now here you see Lazada here, which is our Amazon. So we have Amazon here, but Lazada in Southeast Asia is the largest online platform. My husband orders everything on Lazada. I just say, hey, I need, what do you need? What do you need? He orders. Toothpaste. I don't know, whatever. Now it's going under remodeling. Used to be Singapore Art Museum, so I am also an art docent. I'm very active with the contemporary art scene of Singapore. When I first arrived here, through the Friends of the Museum, I guide contemporary art at National Gallery Singapore, and SAM, Singapore Art Museum, used to be here. But back in the days, this was the high school where Menashe Meyer, our friend, used to go. That is why he is familiar with the area. That is why he said, oh, there's a Catholic church here of Peter and Paul, built in 1870. Our synagogue, 1878, 8 years later. But he purchased the land right across over here. And this is the Magen Avot synagogue where we're heading.
We just went through security, and we're inside the grounds of the other synagogue.
Okay, here's the plan. We're going to start with the synagogue over here on our right. Magen Avot synagogue. I'll talk about the history, show you photos, what we do here, doing special ceremonies, and so on. And later on, we go here. So here you see this is our office, Jewish Welfare Board office, and then you see the Magen David straight in front, Jews of Singapore Museum, where I blocked us a spot so we can go see it. Then on level 2 is the kosher shop. So we'll stop there. You get to see. I mean, I know you have it in Florida, but it's still nice to see what we do here.
Yeah.
We don't have a shochet in Singapore. Not only don't we have a moya, we don't have a shochet.
So where's the meat come from?
Okay, exactly, my friend. So, our chief Rabbi Mordechai Abergil is a certified shochet, but he is so busy. He represents the faith. He has so much to do. He can't deal with it. So we import all our meat and poultry from Australia.
Okay.
Australia is only 7 hours from here, so it's relatively close. We have very good relationship with them. So that's our kosher shop.
You have the name
with Australia, with the community.
Singapore.
Yes, Singapore and Melbourne and Sydney, very, very close with the community, and also that will provide. Also from Israel. Okay? Now, on level 3 and 4 is where both our rabbis live. Rabbi Mordechai Aberzi, Chief Rabbi, and Rabbi Nathan El Rivni, his assistant. They are both Chabad. I will explain more when we're sitting in the museum. Okay? They live on the premises. Then level 5, we have a function room, a huge hall, which let's say now before Pesach, it will be a huge bazaar there. Because you'll see our shop is not that big. When you need all the matzah and the knedalach and this and that, you need space. Right. Then on level 6, I'm going to take you up there. I will show you the beautiful stained glass windows. We have a small shul up here as well. Midweek we usually pray there, but they don't want to turn on the air conditioning and everything in the basement. Okay? And then we have now level 7 as well. This is the heart of the Jewish community of Singapore. Okay?
Okay.
Let's go over here. We stand here, sorry, I took you all the way to the playground. No, yesterday with my German group, one of the families brought a little kid on the tour, the Jewish tour.
Wow.
And he was going on the slides. He was maybe 8, 10 years old. Lovely boy, very well behaved. Anyway, he went here on the... Look here, because this is the only place you can see the name of the synagogue in Hebrew.
Magen Abut.
Kol hakavod. Magen is a shield like Magen David. Avot, plural of Abba, like we sing in Passover. Avot, right? So the shield of our father. Now, when they built this synagogue, Menashe had money, but it was not that wealthy yet. This is 1878. Remember, his villa, everything, the synagogue, 1904, 1905. We're not going in chronological order. You got that. Right. So he had money. He had influence. He negotiated. He helped buy the plot. He invited the Nasi, Abraham Solomon, to be in the board of directors, and his nephew, Raphael. And so they only had money, enough money to build the first level of the synagogue. Second level, the women's section, Ezrat Nashim, only in 1924. Okay? So at that time, the women were behind the mechitza. What to do? So, come, let's walk around to the other side. Not very clean here. See? They sit here, eat, drink, and whatever. Okay, watch out here for your step. Here's the name again of the synagogue. Women's section is up from that door. It is a gazette right here. Take your time, take your time. So you can see here preservation monuments, just like the other shul, the other synagogue. The oldest synagogue in Southeast Asia. Now, according to Jonathan Isaac, the brother of Lillian Isaac, the Iraqis that I chat with, he told me these Sephardi Iraqi Jews were sitting inside the synagogue, and it is Erev Shabbat, just before Shabbat starts. They open the doors, all the men are here, and they turn their heads and they want to welcome Shabbat Malka. And what do they see in front of them? Peter and Paul Catholic Church on the other side. Sorry, they were here first. You guys built it 8 years later. So they don't know what to do. So they write to this Huchem in Baghdad what to do. And he says, I have an idea. Why don't you exactly? Why don't you build a wall? You say it's not in very good condition now. But this way, when Shabbat comes, you don't have to see. Of course, the architecture here, very typical in the tropics. On Shabbat, we have a big table here for Kiddush when everybody comes. Now we go up the stairs. Turn on the lights and the air conditioning. If it's too hot in there, I'll keep it short. In the museum, I learned the trick, I know. all the security guards, so they told me what to do if I need to turn it on. Right, so let's look up here before we go in. Come, just stand there so you can see our hair. Okay, Purim is coming up. Lots of celebrations. So the Chabad boys who come here as shlichim, they are active with the Sunday school, kids camp, they deliver challah every Shabbat, of course, Hamen Tashem, Mishloach Manot, all of that, now I'm getting ready. If you look up here, you see Jewish Welfare Board, Singapore President. You will see David Marshall 3 times here. He was our first president. You will see Jacob Ballas, Levi and Isaac, and the Benjamins, and the Elias, or Elias. You see Mrs. Felice Isaac. Also a woman here. Okay. Now, we have Sassoons here, Victor Sassoon. Victor and Michelle Sassoon owned the Coffee and Bean chain, which they sold for who knows how much. And now they sell expensive Rolex watches to wealthy Indonesians. So these Sassoons moved from India. Remember, they all went through India. They went to Jakarta. So these Sassoons live here, Michelle and Victor, but originally from Jakarta. They are Singaporean citizens. They have a beautiful house here on 6th Avenue. We have a 6th Avenue here. But they're very humble, very welcoming to community. Nash Benjamin, our president now, he put, I think, at least $6 million, okay, Singapore dollars, for a very upscale Aniba kosher restaurant. I'll show it to you, we'll walk by it. Very nice, very upscale, I think overpriced. Food is okay, chef from Israel, whatever. But he said, our local rabbi cannot always eat only here in the kosher restaurant. You know, so let's build something. And Singaporeans who are foodie also go and eat there. Fine, everybody's happy. So that's them. Now look here, this huge mezuzah. Look, it's beautiful. Absolutely amazing. Look at the side. Mashu. You know what is mashu? People like something. Like it's great. Okay? And here, of course, we have our prayers. If you want to take a photo or look up here, it's very nice. Beit HaKnesset. Okay, let's go in. Not too bad. Well, not too bad as far as the room temperature. It's going to be cooler in the museum, but that's okay. No problem. It's a beautiful scene, a different vibe. We find it very peaceful in many ways.
The other one is
More upscale.
well,
Yes.
yes, but to
But
me
what do
it's
you feel?
cold.
Okay, and here you feel confident. Okay, very good. I agree. It is something about it. So the ceiling here is what we call half a barrel ceiling. You will see, I don't know if you've been at the Portuguese Synagogue in Amsterdam. Anyway, I go there. Same idea, of course, from there it's all mahogany wood, but the same architecture style. The bima is in the center. Then you have the rows here. You have all the talit for the Chabad. There's the prayers, the tzedakah. You can go up here if you want, no problem, on the bima. If you want to go up. I want to explain a few things here. Let's start here, Fred. So, VIPs, dignitaries, celebrities who come to visit Singapore will always pay visit to this shul, to this synagogue. So, here we have Chaim Weizmann, the father of the current president of Israel, Yitzhak Buzi, Herzog. Sorry, Chaim Weizmann was the first president of Israel. Okay, so Chaim Herzog, the father of Yitzhak Herzog, who is now the current president of Israel. So when he came here, he brought the 2 shofarim or shofarot, the 2 shofars, as a gift. So this is Chaim Herzog. On the other side, where Fred was already looking, is Bibi Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, longest serving prime minister of Israel, who is still in power, came here with his wife. 2017, they brought the Chanukiah, the Shamash is down there somewhere. Okay? As a gift, and here you see on the side, IDF, came the ex-chief of staff of Israel. I actually guided him and his wife. Not a Jewish tour, you know, Israelis are not interested in Jewish tour. He actually wanted what I'm going to do for you. Well, I won't do that much arts, but I did architecture and arts at National Gallery because I'm a docent there. And he and his wife, 2.5 hours I did with his entourage and the whole thing. Anyway, so they brought the plaque. So then dignitaries will come here. Now we're gonna walk to the front and we'll sit down and I'll show a couple of photos. We shall relax. If you want any photo of the two of you, just let me know. Okay? I am at your service. Look at the oil here. The naphthalene. Did you see that right there?
Yeah.
And it's so funny, the page number, which is actually the year. Look, did you see that?
Yeah.
5,000. Anyway, it's the year and the page.
Okay, so we just left the synagogue, and now we're going into the other building. And there's the museum in here, I guess, and a store.
Here you have Jews of Singapore Museum. You want to take a photo or video, whatever. We're going to go inside. That's all.
Penna. Tawag penna.
See? The trust. Jacob Ballas, the son of Shuabat. Hello, shalom, shalom. National Heritage Board. They gave money here to open the Jews of Singapore Museum, which opened during COVID 2021. And it's a fantastic museum. Really to the point, you will see about the community. Come. Nice and cool in here. We like that. Before we leave, for sure, we will get some more water so you can soak your towel again if you need. So this is good here to show, especially non-Jews, how a Sefer Torah looks like. Because obviously you're Jewish, you know it's not going to be open like this all the time. This is a haftarah that they put here. They call it Sefer Torah, fine. They put the haftarah here. The case is originally Iraqi. But it's nice because it's an opportunity for them to see how our Torah looks like. Okay, now let's start from here. I'm going to show you the highlights. I'll give you a few minutes to take photos. Don't want to rush you before we go. So, I love maps. Let's look here. This is a summary of everything we started this morning. Baghdad, Iraq or Iraq. From there, the Jews will go to Bombay, Calcutta, the two port cities on the subcontinent of India. They work with East India Company, life is good, they extend more, they expand their businesses to Southeast Asia. Shanghai, Hong Kong, Rangoon or Yangon, Batavia or Jakarta, and our little Singapore on the tip of Malaya. The 5 port cities, okay? Good. Now, you can see here, when the Jews come, they will come with this man, which I already explained, Abraham Solomon. Where will they settle? I really want to talk about this map with your permission. Really interesting. So, when Stanford Raffles arrives here, remember he works for the East India Company. The businessman, he comes here, he negotiates with the local sultan. You see, our little island of Singapore, which is the Lion City, is part of the Sultanate of Johor. So in Malaysia, if you think of the Malay Peninsula, there are 13 sultanates or kingdoms. The southern one is called the Sultanate of Johor, and Singapore is part of that. Just an archipelago with Malay fishermen. That's all. It was all there was here. People of the sea, fishing, and so on. He said, Raffles, how are we going to have business here? Who do we talk to? Who's the boss? He said, oh, you got to talk to the Sultan of Johor. But what to do? Allah yarhamu, he just died, passed away. But he's got 2 sons from 2 different wives, of course, who are both claiming to be the heirs to the throne. And Raffles was very clever. He seized that opportunity. Brothers, rivalry, half brothers. And then he says, Hussein Shah, we, the East India Company, not the British Empire yet, remember? That's 1819. We will recognize you as the rightful heir to the throne. We will build you a mosque, which they will, here. Okay, Sultan Mosque. This is the Arab kampong. In Malay, the word kampong means a village. We'll build you a mosque, we'll give you pocket money, we'll even build you a palace, a istana. All you gotta do is just sign here. You sign a contract that you allow us, the East India Company, to have a trading post here. Okay? So there are many Arabs and Malays and South Indians and Arab merchants who come from the Arabian Peninsula. On top of that, we have a big balagan here. You know the word in Hebrew,
Yeah.
balagan, right? We have Chinese from 5 different ethnic groups. Hakkas, Hokkiens, Hainanese, Teochews, and Cantonese. Okay, then we have Europeans. So we need to have an urban plan on the island of Singapore. This is fascinating because this is 1822. 3 years after Raffles arrived, he will commission Lieutenant Philip Jackson. That's why we call it the Jackson Plan. And he draws this map. Here is the Singapore River. The Indians are brought here from Tamil Nadu, South India, by the East India Company. Why? Because somebody needs to run the port. Money changers, bankers, customs. You see, the big ships are out here. Then you have the smaller boats that offload their goods here on the river. So the Indian chettiars, that's what they're called, the money changers will settle here. The Jews with Abraham Solomon also settle here. I told you they bought the 3 shop houses, had a little mikveh, cemetery, and their Torah schools, and that's where they were. Here is where you guys went yesterday. Kampong, China. Kampong in Malay is a village, China for the Chinese. Now the Chinese men would go from South China, from Fujian. They will sail for 40 days in the sea and finally arrive on the shores of Singapore in search for jobs. That's why the Chinese came here. There's famine in South China, no jobs and hunger, and they're looking for job opportunities. They heard there's a very thriving port here. They will be coolies, they'll go and do rickshaws and so on. They will arrive here on the Big Bay. Give thanks, hallelujah, to the goddess of the sea, Mazu. Now today, you were there yesterday, all of this is reclaimed land. You were here. Maxwell is about here. This area here is our CBD, Central Business District, where our bank's here. Now, your hotel is here. This is all, 23% of the island is reclaimed land. Marina Bay Sand is here. You understand? But this is 1822. Okay, on this side of the river, we have, so this is the commercial area of Singapore, and this is the administrative area. We have the open square. I'll show it to you. It's still there. We call it Padang. P-A-D-A-N-G. In Malay means a field. It is still here. Our Formula One goes around here. Okay? National Gallery, where we're going to end our tour, is up here. Where Supreme Court, City Hall, right? Administrative. You need all the churches, the schools, all here. Here is the European town. And they put the Arabs next to them. They were very wealthy merchants. That's the Kampong Glam, or the Malay area with the mosque. The Jews are here. So we are between the European town and the Arab Kampong. Now, second generation, I'll be almost done. I'm sorry it's so long, but it's really interesting. That's how Singapore developed. Second generation of Indians are not money changers or bankers anymore. They're traders. I'm sorry, they're farmers. Third generation will be the traders. They're farmers. They come with the water buffaloes from South India, from Kerala, Tamil Nadu. So they need an area with lawn, with grass, with water. The Rochor Canal is right here. This is the end of the Mahala. So we are here, and this road here, look, he drew this road, the road leading to the center of the island. This is Serangoon Road, our main street of Little India today. So Little India, second generation, will move from here to here because of that. Okay, so far so good. Come, let's continue here. The two Ashkenazi, I'll just do the highlights and as I said, give you a couple of minutes. Abraham Franklin from Russia, Itzhak Ellison, remember the Ellison building, the Romanian guy? He had a big furniture shop at Raffles Square here at the commercial area. Was very well to do. So they're the two Ashkenazim here. And then, of course, we talked about this. I like to talk about Menashe and the visit of Albert Einstein there because I find that it's more relevant. We're there. So that's when I mentioned that. I don't need to repeat. Look how they're dressed here. Very European style.
Einstein.
Very elegant. Now, the war, what Fred asked me. So, in 1943, Singapore fell or surrendered 15th of February 1942. Okay. At the beginning, when the Japanese were here, you know who they targeted the most? Chinese men between the age of 18 to 50. Not the Jews, forget the Jews. They felt that these Chinese men are dangerous. And they had a pact with Germany, so they were very good in what we call ethnic cleansing. And they said, these men, if they wear glasses, if they have tattoos, if they have a gun, or they are suspected of collaborating with mainland China, we must get rid of them. And there were 11 massacre sites on the island of Singapore. The first 3 weeks when the Japanese arrived here, they massacred many of these Chinese men. So they didn't have time to deal with the Jews. Then comes 1943, then they learned from Germany, oh, you have to do this and ghetto and get named. Too much. The victory here was overwhelming for the Japanese. They were outnumbered 3-1. They didn't think that Singapore is going to surrender. So, finally in 43, they asked for a name list of all the Jewish families who lived in the Mahala. The thing that they forced the Jews to do is wear an armband that said Utai, which means a Jew in Japanese here. But end of the day, we would be treated, people like us, as civilians. They would put us in camps, Simei camp, S-I-M-E-I. You could go in and out. Life was hard, but I wouldn't say that the Jews in particular suffered more than the others. It was really these Chinese men. Okay. Now, in the Mahala, you had people making the Iraqi pita, Lafa, קוראים לזה בארץ in Israel, right? You have here the buildings. Remember I showed you this building? That's where we were. David Elias or David Elias building, the Ellison building. This is a beautiful old hotel. When our daughter comes here, she's such a foodie, as you know. She also wants to have high tea. Oh, mom and dad, you're gonna pay, let's have a high afternoon tea. So we go here to the Goodwood Hotel, but it was built by the Menashe brothers. It's a beautiful building. You have some street names here. We talked about that, so I'm not going to spend too much time. I want to talk about two men who are very important in our community. If you want to sit down at any point, you can have a seat. Have a look up here, my friends. David Marshall. Come have a look from him. He was born in Singapore 1908. His parents came from Baghdad via India, like everyone else. And the story goes, I read his biography, that when he was 6 years old, he was sick. The family calls a house doctor, a British doctor, to come to a house visit. Sorry, not a house doctor, a house visit of a British doctor. He comes and says to the boy, hey boy, what's your name? He says, Daoud. You should be David or David. What's your surname? Mash'al. You should become Marshall. Anglicize your name. And so he does, and his brother does. And so David Marshall, a very successful lawyer, will become the head, the chief minister of the Labour Party. Labour Party. His opponent is Lee Kuan Yew, the late Lee Kuan Yew, the head of the People's Action Party, PAP. David Marshall was really anti-British colonial. He said, enough, proclamation for independence, we need to gain independence. And so he will represent Singapore, and he goes to London. And he said, I will negotiate our independence. If I don't succeed, then my opponent, Lee Kuan Yew, can take over. And that's what happened. So he did not succeed. Lee Kuan Yew becomes the first Prime Minister of the Republic of Singapore later on. So they still remain good friends. And in August of that year, 1956, he will send David Marshall with a delegation of commerce to talk about trade relations with China. They come to China, they talk business, and then, you know, you have small talk. And the president of China, Zhou Enlai, starts telling David Marshall, you know, there are so many Chinese who want to come back to their home country, but they're stranded in other countries because they don't give them exit visa. So he was a very shrewd politician. He picks up the glove and he said, well, now that you mention it, we have here over 500 Jewish people, mostly Russian Jews, who are stranded in Shanghai and Harbin, and you don't give them exit visas. Now, you say it in front of everyone in Asia is a big no-no. you know, you can't embarrass anyone in front of others. What would he say? Oh, then we will let them go. So thanks to David Marshall, 550 Jews made Aliyah to Israel in 1956. It's a very interesting story. So that's it. But Singaporeans all know who he is. Chief Minister of Singapore. Now, Jacob Ballas, Jacob, here, Yankale. Look here. His parents, Shua and Grace Ballas, born in Iraq, moved to Singapore, they went back to Iraq, came back here. He went to school at St. Andrew's School, across from St. Joseph School. Later on, when he graduated, he was a car salesman, insurance salesman, worked his way up to become the head of the Singapore Malaya Stock Exchange. He was wealthy, never got married, never had kids, and he was a mama's boy. His father passed away when he was 8 years old. He was very devoted to his mom. So, in 1996, he said, we need to have a Jewish federation like we're used to in the States. Here at the Jewish Welfare Board, and he donated money, and his trust and his millions are invested, like the story we talked there, and this is how we finance everything we need here in the Welfare Board. Plus we have very wealthy these families, Sassoon, Benjamin, and so on. Look what he says here, very interesting.
Yeah, I was reading
You read
that.
this. To a Jew, Israel is our face. Singapore is my country, not Israel. So these men are proud Singaporean and patriots. That's the takeaway I wanted you to have about this community here. And I had mentioned earlier, and I will repeat myself, he donated money for the Children's Garden. So everybody in Singapore knows Jacob Ballas Children's Garden in the Singapore Botanic Gardens. I took my granddaughters there. So that's what I mean. Part of the society of Singapore. So he's the one who said, we need to have a permanent rabbi here. I'll show you his photo in a minute, and he will hire Mordechai Abergil. So here, just real quick, I'll show you here. These are the 3 synagogues in case you want to take a photo or kind of summarize or remember what we've seen today. Michelle, you can see here. Chesed El, Magen Avot. So if you go in a chronological order, we start here. This is the first deed of the 1841 near the river with Abraham Solomon, Magen Avot where we were now, and Chesed. Okay, have a look. I'll show you a few more things. You can take one of these brochures later if you want to. It's a really good museum, I'm telling you. Look at this, for yesterday, for example. For non-Jews, fantastic. I can talk about our cycle of life, our customs, our calendar, our holidays. Then he asked me, so which one is your favorite? The Germans yesterday. Like, well, I used to like Purim growing up. Everybody likes Hanukkah. Which one do you celebrate? I said, well, we do mostly the high holidays and Passover. But I'm not an observant Jew and so. But look at this, Michelle. It's amazing.
Nice.
But it's again with the local content. These are our rabbis, these are our community, and we can explain. Then we have a video here that talks about, we donated, we, not me of course, 2 Sifrei Torah candles to the Asian Civilization Museum. We have a big museum here, ACM, and they have a religion section there, where they talk about Islam and about Judaism and so on. So you can see that in there. Now over here, you can take a brochure if you'd like. This is our chief rabbi, Mordechai Abergil. Born in Brussels, his father is Moroccan. So, Jacob Ballas met him 30 years ago and said, would you consider, he's a Sephardi, right? I mean, Moroccan, Mizrahi, but he comes, would you consider coming here? We're looking for a full-time rabbi. I have the means, I have the funds. All you gotta do is show up. He says, fine, but I am Chabad. He said, that's okay. As long as Chabad doesn't take over here, like a Beit Chabad, and it's under control, because these Iraqi Jews here are not going to let that happen. It's like, fine. So he came here when he was 26, now he's 56, lived here, still lives here, 30 years. A lovely man, very, very nice man. His assistant, Netanel Rivni, came here almost 20 years ago from Israel. He's a Persian ancestors, and this is our friend. Nissim, the one we met in Chesed El. So they do have the program here with the Chabad boys. They come here for a year. They stay in the premises on level 2 where behind the kosher shop there's a mikveh for men, and then they stay there. They help with the community here, as I said earlier. Sometimes if they see my visitors, or I have visitors who really want to meet Chabad. I don't think this is your case, but if I'm just saying, sometimes they really want to. Then I say, yes, I can call one of the boys, you can say hi. Sometimes they say, do you want to put the feeling, spread the whatever. But in general, it's very much under control. You don't have Israeli backpackers coming here for a Bet Chabad free meal because it doesn't exist. So the community is very lively though, and they do like to dance and sing and drink their whiskey, fine. But as I said, there's a fine balance here. Because I always get this question. I know. But I can't carry
So here we are
I don't
in the building next to the synagogue, and they have essentially it's a kosher store. Israeli products, eggs down here, everything from Israel. Cup noodles, even the barekas that we buy. They even have a pizza one. I don't think we've ever seen that. And the potato is down below. And the meats and chicken, poultry here. And the meat, some of it comes from Uruguay and the others from Australia. All shipped in. And you can see all the products here. Then for Passover, they'll be bringing in all the stuff for Passover. And they even have
You see, you have here the golan, the
Yeah.
gamla.
they have all the good stuff.
Really good stuff. I mean, not cheap, but very nice. Judean mountains. Arak also. Very good. Yeah.
Very nice.
Very nice.
They-
Okay, if we're ready, we can go up unless you want to buy something. Don't mean to rush you. Our rabbi's offices are here. So I had this Los Angeles macher last week. Immediately wanted to where's the
This is
hidden gem?
the small synagogue.
So during the week, if they don't want to turn on the air conditioning,
And the one next door.
exactly, the
So
big
they-
one, the Magen Avot, they will use this one. It is called Ohel Yaakov, dedicated to Jacob Balas, Yaakov Bala, and his parents, Shua and Grace Balas. Okay, so we have one Sefer Torah inside. Sometimes the Ashkenazi do their small prayers in here too, but the highlight definitely are the beautiful windows, stained glass windows. It reminds me of the Marc Chagall.
Yeah.
Yerushalayim in Hadassah, that's where I was born. So you would have here all the 12 tribes, you can read Shimon,
Yeah.
Yisachar, Yehuda, Reuven. Beautiful work here. And then we have our little guy here, Abraham Solomon. So that's like our local connection to the first president of the Nasi. So they added him here as well. It's a lovely place. You see what it says here in Hebrew on the top there. מה טובו אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל. It's all about that. So the Chabad boys sometimes do their studies here.
Yeah, I was looking. I figured that's where
Yeah.
they sit.
And if you need to use it as a full shul, like also with women, they go
The women can sit there.
and then you can close the curtain. Correct. So I've never been here in any prayer, but I know that they use it. It's very active.
It's comfortable.
It's beautiful.
I mean, it's
Look at the hands here. It's just really, it's a nice time of day. You can really see the light going through. Very, very nice.
Fred, were we in Lisbon? Where we went to that temple, the synagogue that was up on the 5th floor? Is that where it was?
yeah, in
Or
Lisbon.
maybe in Venice.
No, it was in Lisbon. It was almost in a it was in a residential.
It was half
Wow.
this size.
Wow.
Yeah.
Half
In
this.
Lisbon.
Uh-huh.
Did you have a guy there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Was his name Paolo?
I don't know.
I heard he's a very good gardener.
Oh, he was
Yeah,
very.
he was very good.
People talk about it, it's fun. Oh, for 3 here, perfect. Thank you. So you can have a look at the menu and drink.
Yeah.
Lunch to 6 for everything. Well, it's almost 1 o'clock, so that's what I meant. Like, it's, now I'll show you.
We're gonna have
the
a
traditional
quick
cultural
something here.
side